Ice Cream for Kesha was one of the most hyped episodes of Victorious ever. 4 million viewers tuned in to watch the premiere, making it the most watched scripted show of the night on cable, and second overall to only the NBA playoff game between the Lakers and the Hornets. And that's probably because back in 2011, Kesha was one of the biggest pop stars in the world. So when she guest starred on the episode of Victorious, yeah, no one was missing that shit. But unfortunately, Dirty Dan was up to his old tricks in this episode, making random scenes awkwardly inappropriate for no reason, in ways that don't exactly age well. So now, on streaming platforms, we're left with an episode that is basically a sliced and chopped up shell of what it once was, in order to cut out some of the more uncomfortable parts. And let me just say, in some other episodes where parts are cut out, like the cat water gun scene in Survival of the Hottest, you can hardly tell anything's missing. But in this one, scenes that are directly involved with the plot of the episode are cut, making most of the episode unintelligible. So I decided it was finally time to take a look back to see if this episode deserved to be censored, and I'll be showing you guys the choppy, sloppy mess that you would see if you turned on Paramount Plus and loaded up this episode. As always, if you guys like this video, consider throwing us a like and maybe even subscribe. I might just lick the bottom of a stranger sneaker if you do. And as always, if you have any other episodes or shows you'd like me to cover, let me know down in the comments. Alright, let's dive in. So the episode starts off with Kat being mad at Robbie for something he did in her dream. Kinda sounds like my girlfriend. Andre shows up at the lunch table with only ice cream for lunch, and the other kids call him out for being not very nutritious.
That's what you're gonna eat for lunch? Nope, it's been in my locker all day, so I'm gonna drink it.
And I gotta point out that ice cream can only be left at room temperature for 2 hours before it's no longer safe to consume, since bacteria starts to rapidly grow. Risky move, Andre. I like it. He explains to the others that he's trying to win a contest to meet Kesha, where you have to find each of the letters to spell out Kesha at the bottom of a pint of ice cream in order to win a private concert. But so far, he's only found 11 Ks. So already, 11 pints of ice cream down the drain. Trina wanders over and asks Tori if she thinks it's important for people to keep their words when they promise something, which of course, Tori replies yes to. Trina then says, I'm glad you feel that way, because look at this deal you and I made 10 years ago.
When I, Tori Vega, am 16 years old, I will be married to a handsome prince and we shall live in a magic sugar castle.
And read what you said you'd do if it didn't happen.
We'll be Trina's assistant and do whatever she says for a whole month.
That's right!
Tori says to her friends, can you guys please tell Trina she's being unreasonable? But they all actually back Trina up and say, well, Tori, a deal's a deal. And you know what? If I was Tori, I'd say, no, I'm not goddamn honoring a promise I made when I was a kindergartner. And when Andre and Kat jumped in to say, well, a promise is a promise, I would say, nah, fuck you guys. I don't care about your opinion. I'm not fucking doing it. Seriously, Tori needs to grow a backbone here. No one can force her to do anything. She has free will, and her choosing to honor a promise made up by 6-year-old Tori is stupid as hell. That's on her, and it couldn't be me. Think about it. There's literally nothing Trina can do to her. What is she gonna do? Fire her? Kick her out of the house if she says no? She has no leverage here. But Tori acts like she has no choice and says yes to being Trina's assistant. And now we get the first heavily censored scene of the episode. And guys, the version of this scene that's up on Paramount Plus genuinely gives you whiplash from how much it jumps and cuts around. It makes such little sense. It's unacceptable. Tori is hanging with Andre at the kitchen table when Trina's voice is heard calling, but Trina herself is never seen.
Tori! I want something.
How can I assist you?
Put on some Kesha. Maybe that'll give my ice cream some luck.
They literally scream back and forth to the disembodied Trina voice. Kesha is brought up for no reason. Then Tori teleports back to the kitchen table with Andre as he finds the letter A for the contest.
You want some Kesha? Kesha!
Oh, yeah, baby.
Ah! You got an A!
Yeah, I did.
Good, so now you have K and A.
So now he just needs an E, S, and H to win. Trina screams from off screen again, says put it on loop with no context at all as to what she's referring to, all while still never actually being shown. Then Tori returns to the kitchen table abruptly.
You just need Ash.
I need Ash real bad.
Sorry!
Yes, how can I assist you?
Put it on loop. Put the song on loop, then scurry off.
So yeah, the scene barely made sense. All the dialogue and unseen Trina was very jarring. Weird vibes all around. Oh my god, when you scroll through the episode on Paramount Plus, they didn't even correctly cut the scene. You can still see the scene preview of the entire thing. Paramount Plus has got to be one of the worst, if not the worst, streaming platforms available. In the original scene, Tori walks over to the couch and has a conversation with actual shown on camera Trina, who, yeah, just so happens to be eating and sucking on a pickle while using lip gloss between bites. Pretty much the entire time, which was super unnecessary and got cut for being too weird and uncomfortable. She would suck the pickle, then put lip gloss on, all while the dozens of camera guys, directors, and other random men on set watched her. During the scene, Tori makes a deal with Trina that if she can get Kesha to perform a private concert at their home, she no longer has to be Trina's assistant. And the Paramount Plus episode missing this dialogue completely takes away from the plot of the episode. Cut to Tori's house again, but this time everyone's there to empty out ice cream pints and search for the Kesha letters as a group project. But the group is only finding K's and A's. Tori finally finds an E, so now they have 3 out of 5 letters needed to win the contest. Robbie decided to take a giant tub filled with ice cream to the local park to give it out to little kids so it doesn't go to waste. And none of his so-called friends try to stop him from what obviously is a bad idea. Since the group only needs an S and an H to win the contest, everyone keeps on looking. Tori also says if they win the contest, she'll win her freedom from Trina, which in the censored version of the episode is weird to say because the lines where that plot point was established were entirely cut out. In the next scene, Robbie enters the home completely beat to shit because the mothers decided to teach him a lesson at the park.
I went to the playground. I got off my bike and I yelled, "Hey kids, who wants some free ice cream?" And then their mothers chased me into an alley and beat me with sticks.
And I gotta point out, in the previous episode, Beck falls for Tori, it's actually revealed that Robbie doesn't know how to ride a bike.
Who can't ride a bike?
Take a guess. Can you keep any secret?
I'm gonna say it, it kinda bothers me that this episode came right before the other one, and they can't even keep the continuity straight for one single episode. Even if Robbie somehow learned how to ride a bike in between the last episode and this one, how did he manage to ride a bike with a giant filled tub of ice cream? So everyone's out of ice cream and Beck was supposed to bring back more, but instead he enters Tori's house empty-handed and tells the others to check Kesha's last update. And they all see on their phones that someone from Northridge has apparently already won the contest.
Congrats to the dude in Northridge who found all the letters and spelled out Kesha. Thanks for playing. Kesha later.
And I think it's kind of funny that the winner is someone from their rival school, Northridge, in a supposedly nationwide contest. What are the odds a local from their rival town actually wins it? When Kat comforts Tori and says, "Don't be sad," I pause to count, and there's 37 visible empty ice cream containers in this scene alone, as well as 2 completely filled large tubs of it. God damn, they're running their parents dry. Tori is upset they lost the contest and crashes out a little bit.
And I don't live in a magic sugar castle, and now we can't win the Kesha concert, which means that I gotta keep being Trina's stupid assistant for 28 more days.
Again, you literally don't have to do this. There is no gun to your head, Tori. Tell Trina to fuck off, you dumb little... So then Andre chimes in and says, maybe Trina will forget about it. And in the censored version, it fades to black and then cuts to a random scene at school where it feels like just completely odd that he said that line only for it to lead to nothing. In the original episode, this is where a scene plays of Tori scrubbing Trina's hair while she's in the bathtub, and she eventually commits attempted murder by by trying to drown Trina in the tub. Leave it to Dirty Dan getting this young actress presumably naked for no reason when it has nothing to do with the plot whatsoever. And what makes it worse is that she still has the pickle. Yeah, I can kinda see why they cut this whole entire scene, but it begs the question, if this part had to be completely removed from the episode, how is the iCarly episode where underage Miranda Cosgrove is naked in the bathtub the entire time still allowed to stay up? I checked and the episode is still on streaming. What? Cut to Tori at school, who complains to her friends that Trina is giving her a rough time, even though in the censored version we see no evidence of this at all so far, when suddenly Trina runs up and makes Tori answer the phone for her.
Hello? No, I'm sorry. Trina's dead.
And I gotta assume they're copying an iconic moment from Jersey Shore right here.
Hello?
Who's this?
Angelina, please.
No, she died.
Kat calls Tori over and St. John plays a clip of Kesha announcing that the dude from Northridge who claimed he won the contest was a fake, which is clearly a reference to Willy Wonka where the last golden ticket winner was a faker. And St. John even gives us a quote from the film in case anyone was too slow to pick up on the reference.
I can still win the contest.
Run for it, Tori. Run straight home and don't stop till you get there.
Right.
And is Tori ditching school? None of the other kids left. It looks like the day just started. So with the contest back on, everyone is back to searching endless tubs of ice cream for the missing letters. Kat finds an H, and now the only missing letter left is the S. Well, really a $sign. Cut to later in the night. Everyone is still searching for the S, and Tori is starting to lose it. Robbie points out that maybe since it's a rare letter, they need to buy one of the more rare flavors of ice cream to find it. They find out that the least popular flavor is Funky Nut Blast, and decide their best bet is to buy some of that. And I've had a Funky Nut Blast or two in my day. Up top. Kat actually knows where to buy that weird flavor because it's the kind her mythical brother likes to eat and their mom likes to hide his special medicine in it. So the kids run off to the store and buy the only pint of Funky Nut Blast there. Tori trashes the store and empties out the ice cream onto the floor for some minimum wage worker to clean up, then sadly announces it's just an H, which according to the rest of the episode was one of the rarest letters, so it seems like their logic wasn't too far off. Jade checks for another pint.
Well, maybe there's another pint.
No, there's not.
And you can clearly see that every single shelf is absolutely loaded up with pints of ice cream, but Jade only checked the top shelf for 1 second. Kat points out there's a little boy in the store eating Funky Nut Blast, and they all swarm this child, who, fun fact, is actually Kesha's real-life little brother.
What you eating there?
Funky Nut Blast?
Oh, can we have it?
Get out of here.
And Tori looks so offended that this kid didn't want to hand over the ice cream to strangers for nothing in return. Is Tori dumb? Jade offers the kid $30 for it, showing she's way more socially normal than Tori, because that actually makes more sense than just demanding it for free. And the kid says deal, but then Kat blabs that the S at the bottom of the ice cream is the last piece they need to win the contest, and the kid decides he could demand a lot more for that $sign.
What do you want?
To come to the private concert.
Fine. No way.
And I want to kiss you.
What?
And her. And, the freaky one.
What?
He then makes direct eye contact with Andre as well.
You better stop there.
Kinda funny. Cut to a special performance from Kesha in Tori's living room, which is cool as hell. Everyone's jamming out, and this is genuinely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It almost feels weird to see these kids get such a dub at the end of this episode, because I feel like a lot of the episodes end with them getting comedically screwed over in some way. So I kinda like seeing them get a big win. And the Kesha song is a 10 out of 10, let's be real. She's performing Blow, and it's making me about to blow a load all over the TV screen. Just saying. When the concert ends, Kesha's little brother says, "Yo, where my kisses at, bitch?" And the girls lock him outside the house. Rightfully so, I guess. Trina fucks with Kesha for a bit, and then Kesha apologizes to Tori for having such a weird sister. Kesha then asks Tori if her cheekbones are real, which is a kind of funny running joke, I guess. Trina sees that the little boy got locked out of the house and lets him back in. He complains to her that the other girls promised him a kiss and didn't follow through.
Oh, well, you could give me a little kiss. Gross.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I ain't buying it. They try their hardest to make Trina seem as weird and gross and off-putting as possible, but I'm sorry. The actress portraying Trina is still a hottie. Child me would have gone for that kiss and not even thought twice about it. Just saying. And before I say anything else about this episode, I gotta say this. Since Lichter's ice cream, Lichter's? I don't know. Since Lichter's ice cream isn't a real brand, I looked up the price for a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream back in 2011 when this episode premiered, and it was $6. I actually paused and did my absolute best to count the number of empty ice cream pints seen in every single scene of this episode. There were also several large tubs of ice cream filled to the brim, like the kind Robbie had when he went to the park. Look, those colorful bins with the white rope handles are a standard 15-gallon size. There are 8 pints in a gallon, so each one of those colorful tubs holds roughly 120 pints of ice cream when full. And guys, with all the visible empty containers seen in the background, the characters calling out various letters indicating they've emptied another pint, and the several large tubs seen filled to the brim in multiple scenes, I can give a conservative estimate of 896 pints of ice cream purchased by the characters in this episode. And with the price being $6 each, that brings the total money they spent on ice cream to $5,376. And look, they do end up getting a private Kesha concert at the end, so I'm not saying it wasn't worth it. Hell, that's a steal for such a rare once-in-a-lifetime private concert like they got. You'd probably pay 500 grand for that shit, but they didn't know for sure they were going to win the contest. In fact, it was kind of a long shot, and they're just high schoolers. Do any of them even have jobs? How did they fund this project? How the hell can they even afford any of this? Is Victorious just a show about filthy rich kids? I'm pissed. But despite the rampant consumerism with over 5 grand being spent on pints of ice cream that were never eaten, this is a pretty banger episode with an awesome cameo by Kesha. My only real complaint about this episode is how weird and disjointed it feels with the cut and censored scenes, which make it a strange and almost confusing watch on streaming. But the censorship is almost so apparent and jarring that it's almost comedic. And yeah, I understand why these scenes were cut. I mean, Trina sucking a pickle naked in a bathtub, really? But still, they could have maybe done it in a way that didn't ruin the episode's plot. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think of Ice Cream for Kesha? Did you agree with the censorship on this one? Or do you think Paramount Plus is getting a little too sensitive? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. As always, I have to give a massive, giant, throbbing, big, sexy, a crazy shout out to my channel and Patreon members. You guys are dope as hell. You guys keep my sock filled with butter, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And in my last video, I asked you guys a trivia question about the iCarly episode, I, Psycho. Where were Nora's parents during that episode? Well, Patreon member Renee K was the quickest to comment, and I thought their comment was correct. But unfortunately, due to a spelling error, this one is actually incorrect. Peachy Kami 1013 was actually the first one to comment the correct answer, Stanker, Wyoming. Congratulations, and Renee, you'll get them next time, I know it. If you guys are still here, that's dope, that's amazing, and you're a cutie, I know it. Maybe consider subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. And by the way, watch out for a suspicious phone call this week. Don't trust that phone call, man. All right, thanks for listening.